Hello everyone and welcome back to the match here in our Tournament of Death here, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. This is our 9th match now, I think, altogether in the first round. We have here from left to right Joey Janela. Then we have got Drew Parker, Mark Briscoe and Jimmy Havoc in another Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tables match. As, of course, as per all the other matches, every time you put someone through a table, you get yourself a ranking point, and every time you put through a table, you lose one. So big opportunities here, not just to qualify for the next round, but also to pick up some very important ranking points. And as we've seen already, some people have already completely changed the way that, well, the way that was looking for them, really. Some people were really struggling right towards the bottom of the rankings, and now all of a sudden they have got themselves back up to a decent position. Not fighting for championships, but at least away from that red zone. I believe this is the debut for Drew Parker. Don't know a lot about Drew Parker. I've seen he was a deathmatch champion over in New Japan. Also working a lot of GCW as well. He's not someone who's on our rankings currently, so we've got a new one, ladies and gentlemen. Always love a new one on the old rankings. Let's throw you in there. Drew is another one of these guys who does deathmatch wrestling, but to be honest, is a very capable wrestler in all the other directions as well. So someone who, I believe, I'm sure I read somewhere the other day that he's having his last ever deathmatch in GCW soon. I think he's going to standard wrestling now. Not there's anything wrong with deathmatch wrestling, but it's probably it's difficult to say this, isn't it, really? But deathmatch wrestling is probably more sort of designed towards the wrestlers that haven't got a hell of a lot else, like, in terms of ability. It's so harsh to say, isn't it? But you know what I mean. I mean, it's one or the other, isn't it, really? You have a fantastic in-ring competitor, or you can do deathmatch wrestling. Maybe you look at the likes of DJ Hyde and Zandig and people like that. There's not necessarily many fantastic wrestlers that go into deathmatch, because there's no need to put your body through that much torture if you've got the ability to hold the crowd's attention another way. As there's the 450 elbow there by Mark Briscoe. Some big maneuvers there by Mark Briscoe, but of course, only putting your opponent through a table will count. As Janela here working over Jimmy Havoc, who of course is retired now due to, so I don't know. His was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it, really? It wasn't a Me Too issue. His was more, was it like psychological? I don't know. Let's not dig into that anyway. But either way, he's retired. I think he works for DPD now, the delivery company. I've seen a photograph of him. Drew Parker now with a table inside the ring. He's going to get that bad boy set up. And this is his opportunity in his debut here in SWE to get himself some points. As Janela working over Mark Briscoe, Drew Parker has Janela big forearm right in the face. There's a boot into the arm as well. Mark Briscoe entering the ring, as does Jimmy Havoc. That table's set up as well. It's a big opportunity for someone. Havoc. Ooh. In with that tornado head scissors takedown. That brings Mark Briscoe back up to a standing base. Has him up on the shoulders. Inverted Death Valley driver. I thought he was going to go the other way around. If he went the other way, he could have put Mark Briscoe through a table. And this is Havoc's opportunity now. He has Mark Briscoe up. Spinebuster! And Jimmy Havoc puts Mark Briscoe through a table. Jimmy Havoc. He drops down to a -2 overall. That's only his second ever match in SWE. No, he doesn't. What am I on about? Sorry. Oh, my brain's not working, is it? He moves up to a 0 after his second ever match. It's Mark Briscoe, who was one of my favourites to win this one, who has suffered the loss here. His first singles loss of the year moves him down to a -3 overall. Drew Parker now with Jimmy Havoc up on the shoulders. Parker now sending Havoc straight into the ring steps. Drew Parker now working over the quadricep there with the big knees into the back of the leg. Very painful maneuver. As now Joey Janela looking to set that table up middle of the ring. This is an opportunity. Jimmy Havoc has a table of his own. And Jimmy Havoc now the choke slam onto the knee. Hello, kitty cat. The battle commences now on the outside. Jimmy Havoc with a boot in the gut and doing a lot better than I expected, to be honest. Nice work over. And you see Drew Parker there with his big kicks. And now it's Joey Janela with a boot in the face of Jimmy Havoc. Drew Parker brings him back up. There's the strikes. Janela with a strike in the face. Very, very back and forth at the moment. Drew Parker with the boots in the face. And of course, it doesn't matter how much damage you do on the outside here. It's all about putting your opponent through a table at the end of the day. What? What head scratches? Okay. So Jimmy Havoc is in the ring. Smart maneuver here really by Jimmy Havoc. Just sort of allowing his opponents to do damage to each other rather than putting himself in a dangerous position. Damage still being done here by Parker stamping on the back of the knees. Havoc though now sneaking in. Reverse Dragon Sleeper into the stunner onto the knee. Very strong maneuver. Big forearm into the face. Drew Parker now circling Havoc. Drew Parker re-entering the ring. As does Joey Janela. Janela knocks over the table in the process. Well done, Joey. Well done. The whole point is to put people through the table, and you completely knocked it over. Well done. Janela now sets the table up. Jimmy Havoc sends a second table into the ring. Havoc here now. Oh, Jimmy Havoc sending Drew through the table. How is this even happening? Because I'll be honest with you, right? With Jimmy's iffy past, I did put him down a bit in the rankings just to try and use him to make up the numbers. And if anything, he's actually ended up being an absolute brute in this match. Drew Parker goes down to a -1 after his debut. Jimmy Havoc with 2 eliminations in this one so far. Flattens Joey Janela with the ripcord clothesline. And now Havoc looking to set this table up. Havoc now dragging Janela across. Slamming him headfirst into the table. Big German suplex. Again, Havoc sending Janela into the table. Janela ducks and avoids the clothesline. Joey Janela now package pile driver into the powerbomb position. Oh, gets hurricanrana down by Jimmy Havoc. Havoc now with a strike in with a ripcord clothesline once again. And Jimmy's gonna fucking do it, isn't he? How do you put someone down to the lowest ranking possible in the game? And not only does he win the match, he gets all 3 eliminations. How the fuck does that even work? Janela moves down to -3 after 5 matches. Jimmy Havoc, after being fed to the wolves, has somehow managed to be the strongest man on the entire game. and has got himself 4 ranking points out of that match and moved up to a +3 in the rankings. There we go. Jimmy Havoc has qualified for the next round of the Tournament of Death. He is number 9 in that one now. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Of course, if you haven't hit the like, subscribe, the good stuff, and I'll see you again tomorrow. 2 more big matches for you. We've got a Bloodsport Championship match tomorrow, where Stone Cold Steve Austin will defend the belt against Minoru Suzuki inside, of course, the cage in Bloodsport rules. And then also later on in the evening, match number 10 is going to be Steve Blackman, Hardcore Holly, Crowbar, and Norman Smiley. Good night, God bless, I'll be the same. I'll see you tomorrow, bye-bye.